Is the universe we live in really created by the hands of a creator? Why is everything about it so perfectly tuned? Hidden inside the universe is a mysterious number, 1 over 137. If it shifts by just 0.01, you and I would not exist. This is not science fiction. It is a bizarre constant that physicists have been calculating for 50 years without truly understanding. Earth is exactly 150 million kilometers from the Sun. If it were closer, surface temperatures would soar to 460 degrees Celsius and even metal would melt instantly. If it were farther away, temperatures would plunge to dozens of degrees below zero and liquid water could not survive. Yet it sits precisely at the only distance where life can exist, not a millimeter off. The moon's size and distance are just right to stabilize Earth's axial tilt. Otherwise, the place you are standing right now might be locked in eternal night. Jupiter acts like a personal bodyguard, using its immense gravity to capture asteroids that have been heading toward Earth for billions of years, shielding us from countless extinction-level disasters. The probability of all these coincidences lining up is more than 100,000 times lower than winning the lottery jackpot 100 times in a row. Some say this is simply survivor bias in a multiverse. Others say this is ironclad proof that a creator exists. But there is a deeper problem. If there really is a creator, then who designed the creator? The moment you ask this question, human reasoning collapses into an infinite nesting loop. Like ants trying to understand the blueprints of a skyscraper. Even Einstein fell silent in the face of this problem. Because at the instant of the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago, the concept of time itself did not exist. But here is the catch. Time not existing does not mean causes do not exist. Scientists have uncovered something even more unsettling. At the moment of the Big Bang, all the laws of physics seem to be pre-written like code, with a precision that sends chills down your spine. Let me give you an example. According to research from Stephen Hawking's team at Cambridge, if the expansion rate of the universe were faster by 1 part in 10 billion, all matter would be torn apart and not a single atom could form. If it were slower by 1 part in 10 billion, gravity would crush the universe back into a single point and nothing would ever happen. Yet it sits exactly at the only speed that allows galaxies, stars, and planets to form gradually. It is like throwing a needle into the sky, and having it pass perfectly through the eye of another needle 100,000 kilometers away. And you only get one try. And you succeed. Even more absurd. This is just one coincidence among many. You may not realize that the entire universe is governed by only 4 fundamental forces: gravity, electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force. According to data from CERN, if the strong nuclear force were weaker by 5%, hydrogen could not fuse into helium. The sun would never shine, and Earth would be a frozen rock forever. If it were stronger by just 2%, all hydrogen would have fused moments after the Big Bang, and water molecules would not exist anywhere in the universe. The electromagnetic force is the same. If it were slightly stronger, electrons would collapse into atomic nuclei. All chemical reactions would become impossible. The water you drink, the air you breathe, every cell in your body would be impossible. These 4 forces are like 4 dials, each one tuned with extreme precision to the only setting that allows life to exist. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Steven Weinberg calculated that the probability of these parameters lining up by chance is 10 to the power of minus 229. What does that mean? If you add up every atom in the entire universe, you only get about 10 to the power of 80. This probability is more than 10 to the power of 100 times smaller than randomly selecting one specific atom out of the entire universe. To be honest, explaining this with coincidence alone is already stretching things. In 2022, the Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to 3 scientists who proved experimentally that in the quantum world, the state of a particle is fundamentally uncertain. Only when you observe it does it collapse into a definite state. That sounds confusing, so let me put it another way. Imagine a box with a cat inside. Before you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead. Only at the exact moment you open the box and look, does the cat's state become determined. This is Schrödinger's cat. But here is the real question. Why does the act of observation change the outcome? Is the universe waiting for someone to look at it? Stanford physicist Andre Linde is one of the main proponents of this idea. He believes there may be countless parallel universes, each with different physical constants. Some universes have gravity so strong they collapse 1 second after the Big Bang. Others have electromagnetism so weak that atoms can never form. Only a tiny fraction of universes have the right parameters to produce galaxies, planets, and life. We are not discussing this because the universe was designed for us, but because only in such a universe could beings like us exist to ask these questions. This explanation sounds elegant, but it has a fatal flaw. The multiverse cannot be proven or falsified. By the definition of science, A theory that cannot be tested is not truly science. It is philosophy. That is why physicists have argued for decades without reaching a conclusion. Then Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom proposed a shocking idea. There is a significant probability that we are living inside a computer simulation. His logic goes like this. Assume that future humans, or some advanced civilization, develop technology capable of simulating an entire universe, including the consciousness of every life form inside it. Would they run such simulations? Of course they would. Just like we play simulation games today. Once simulations exist, the number of simulated universes would vastly outnumber real ones. And statistically speaking, we would be far more likely to live in a simulation than in base reality. In 2016, Tesla founder Elon Musk said in an interview that he believes the probability we are living in base reality is only 1 in a billion. This may sound like science fiction, but physicists have actually found some intriguing clues. The Planck length is the smallest meaningful unit of length in the universe. About 10 to the power of minus 35 meters. Anything smaller has no physical meaning. The Planck time is the smallest unit of time, about 10 to the power of minus 43 seconds. Shorter intervals cannot be defined. What does this resemble? Pixels. No matter how sharp a computer screen looks, if you zoom in far enough, you eventually see individual pixels. Could the universe be the same, appearing continuous, but actually built from fundamental units? If the universe really is a simulation, then the definition of a creator changes completely. Not a god, but a programmer who wrote the code and pressed run. If there are countless parallel universes, where did they come from? What is the parent reality of the multiverse? If we are simulated, who created the civilization that simulated us? Is their universe real, or are they also simulated by a higher level existence? This is the infinite nesting problem mentioned at the beginning. More than 2,000 years ago, the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle asked, if everything has a cause, what is the first cause? His answer was the prime mover. A cause that itself requires no cause. Otherwise, causality would regress infinitely. But what exactly is this prime mover? A consciousness, a set of laws, or something completely beyond human comprehension? We are trying to understand higher dimensional principles of creation. With brains evolved for a three-dimensional world, like ants trying to understand the human internet. Perhaps the answer does not lie in existence or non-existence. Perhaps the question itself is flawed. But here is what I want to say. The absence of an answer does not mean the question is meaningless. You are standing on Earth right now, breathing air, feeling sunlight, thinking about the universe. Every atom in your body was forged in stellar explosions billions of years ago. The calcium in your bones and the iron in your blood are gifts from the cosmos. You are the universe's way of knowing itself, whether a creator exists or not. The fact that you can exist and ask these questions is itself a miracle born from 13.8 billion years of cosmic evolution. So I will leave you with this final question. If the universe truly has a creator, what would you ask them if you met them? And if there is no creator, then what do you think is the meaning of human existence?